Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. This ain't just another speech. This right here. This is the one you didn't know you were waiting for. Because by the time I'm done, some of y'all gone. Be ready to quit your excuses, fire your fear, and hire your faith. You ever scroll through your life like it's someone else's highlight reel, watching, liking, wishing? Not after today. Today, I'm flipping the script. You're not here by accident. You're here because life's been whispering, it's your time. And this speech, this is the shout you've been needing. So don't just listen, lock in. Because the next few minutes might just be the reason everything changes. You ever feel like you're one conversation away from changing everything? Like something deep inside you is just waiting to hear the right words, the right push, the right fire to finally break free. Well, this is it. This is that moment. And I'm not saying that to hype myself up. I'm saying that because I know what it feels like to need something real. Not fake motivation, not sugar-coated quotes. Real talk, real truth. The kind that doesn't just inspire you, it shakes you. It wakes up the part of you that's been asleep for too long. See, life doesn't give us many of these moments. Most of the time, we're too distracted, too tired, too busy trying to keep up with people who don't even know what they're doing either. We spend so much time watching, wishing, waiting. We forget to live. We forget to act. We forget that the most important thing we can do is start. Start where we are. Start with what we have. Start now. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you're gonna miss every single one that matters. You're gonna look up one day and realize you were always about to start, about to take the shot, about to build the life you dreamed of. And the scariest part, nobody's gonna come remind you. Nobody's gonna chase you down and force you to go after your greatness. That's on you. That's why this speech is different. This ain't some feel good, you can do it if you believe message. This is the truth. And the truth is you already know what you need to do. Deep down, you already know what you're capable of. You just forgot. Or you let somebody else talk you out of it. Maybe it was a parent, a teacher, a boss, a so-called friend. Maybe it was you. But that stops today. You are not powerless. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not average. The fact that you're even hearing these words right now means something in you is still alive. Something in you is still hungry. Something in you still believes it's possible, even if it's just a tiny whisper. And I'm here to take that whisper and turn it into a war cry. This speech, it's not going to solve all your problems, but it might just remind you who you are. It might just be the spark that lights your fire again. It might be the reason you stop doubting and start doing. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You don't need 1 million followers or a fancy setup. You need a decision, a line in the sand. A moment where you say, I'm done waiting. I'm done watching. I'm done wasting. And that moment is right now. So let me make something clear. This isn't about me. It's not about going viral. It's not about clout or clicks or views. This is about you, your life, your next step, your future. And if you're brave enough to lean in, to listen with your heart, to let go of the fear and lean into faith, you're gonna feel something shift. You're gonna feel the weight start to lift, not because your problems disappear, but because you decide to stop running from them and start rising through them. That's the power of a moment like this. That's the power of a speech like this. So I need you to do something right now. Promise yourself you won't check out halfway through. Promise yourself you'll stay locked in. Because what's coming next, it's not just words. It's a reminder of who you were before the world told you to settle, before fear taught you to shrink, before doubt whispered, you can't, you can, you will. And by the end of this speech, you might just believe it again. Let's go. There's this lie people keep falling for. You hear it everywhere. It's in your head, it's in your circle, it's all over social media. It goes like this: wait for the right time. Just wait until everything's perfect. Then you'll be ready. Let me tell you something. That perfect moment you're waiting on, it doesn't exist. You're waiting on a bus that's never showing up. You're standing at a station hoping everything will line up, feel right, fall into place. But life don't work like that. Life rewards starters, not waiters. While you're sitting around hoping the conditions will change, somebody else is out there building with less than you've got. You think successful people waited until they had all the answers. Nah, they moved scared. They moved broke. They moved while people laughed. And that's the difference. They moved. That's the whole game. Because if you're always waiting on perfect, you'll never get started. And if you never start, you never grow. You never win. You never even give yourself the chance to see what you're capable of. Let me make this real for you. Some of the biggest moves in your life, the ones that actually shift the direction you're going in, won't feel comfortable. They won't come with a welcome sign. They'll come with doubt, with fear, with shaky hands and a racing heart. But you do it anyway, because the price of waiting is way higher than the risk of failing. Think about all the dreams people bury because they waited too long. That business they never launched. That book they never wrote. That idea they talked about for years but never touched. Not because they didn't believe in it. Not because they didn't want it, but because they kept waiting for the right time. You've been told to be patient. Sure, patience has a place, but don't confuse patience with procrastination. Don't lie to yourself and call it timing when it's really just fear in disguise. You already know what you want to do. You already know what's calling you. But you're scared. You're scared of starting small. You're scared of looking foolish. You're scared it won't work. Let me tell you something else. It might not work the first time. So what? Nobody nails it on day one. You're not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to be in progress. Progress beats perfection every single time because progress moves. Progress learns. Progress evolves. Perfection sits still and hopes. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need to begin. You'll figure out the next step while you're walking. You'll find the right people while you're moving. You'll discover what you're made of in the middle of the work, not before it. Stop thinking you need a master plan to take step one. You don't. What you need is courage. You need a little fire. You need to trust that you're strong enough to figure it out as you go. Because you are. You're more capable than you think. You've survived things you thought would break you. You've come through storms nobody even knows about. So don't tell me you're not ready. You've been ready. You're just scared to jump. But here's what's waiting on the other side of that jump growth. Purpose. Power. Not just success, peace. That kind of peace that comes when you finally stop holding yourself back. When you stop living on the sidelines of your own life. When you stop saying, maybe someday, and start saying, why not now? So, ask yourself this. How many more days are you going to waste waiting for things to feel right? How many more excuses are you going to tell yourself before you finally say, enough hiding, enough stalling, enough shrinking? It's time to move, even if it's messy, even if it's slow, even if it's not perfect, because movement is momentum. And momentum, that's what changes lives. So no, there is no perfect moment, but there is a powerful one. And that moment is this one, right here, right now. What you do with it, that's up to you. Pain has a way of making us forget who we are. It sneaks in, sits on your chest, and makes you believe that everything is falling apart, that you're not enough, that maybe you should quit. But what if I told you your pain isn't proof that you're weak? It's proof that you're growing. See, most people want the reward but not the struggle. They want the dream but not the fight. But pain is the entrance fee. You don't get to level up without it. You don't build strength without pressure. You don't find out who you are in comfort. You find it in the chaos, in the heartbreak, in the silence, when nobody's clapping, and you still keep showing up. You think the people you admire didn't suffer. You think they just woke up with confidence, with success, with answers. Nah, they cried, they failed, they doubted themselves in the dark when no one was watching, but they kept going. Not because it was easy, but because they understood the pain was part of the process. Your pain is doing something inside of you. It's shaping you. It's building a version of you that's stronger than the one before. And even though it hurts right now, maybe it's even breaking your heart, it's also revealing things about you that peace never could. It's showing you how bad you want it. It's forcing you to grow up, to dig deeper, to fight for yourself in ways you never had to before. You gotta stop looking at pain like punishment. It's not. It's preparation. That heartbreak, it taught you boundaries. That failure, it taught you resilience. That betrayal, it taught you discernment. Those sleepless nights, they gave you vision. It's all adding up. Even if you can't see it right now, one day you're gonna look back and realize every painful moment was pushing you toward who you're meant to be. And let me tell you something else. The more pain you've been through, the more power you're sitting on. You don't even realize how much strength you've built just by surviving what you've survived. You think you're behind because you're struggling. No, you're ahead because struggle teaches you what comfort never could. How to rise, how to rebuild, how to walk through fire and come out gold. But here's the catch. Pain only works for you when you stop running from it. You gotta face it. You gotta sit with it. You gotta look that pain in the eye and say, all right, teach me, grow me, show me what I need to learn. Because if you avoid it, you stay stuck. You keep repeating the same cycle. But if you lean into it, you transform. And transformation doesn't feel good at first. Growth hurts. Healing is messy. But it's worth it. Every tear you cried, every time you had to show up when you were breaking inside, every time you held it together for people who didn't even notice. That wasn't for nothing. That was building you. You gotta stop waiting until the pain is over to start moving forward. Start while it still hurts. Build while it still stings. Speak while your voice is still shaking. Because when you do that, when you move through pain, instead of waiting for it to leave, you become unshakable. You stop being controlled by what tried to break you. And the most powerful part, you get to use that pain to help others. One day, your story, your struggle, your comeback, it's gonna be someone else's lifeline. Someone else is gonna see you and say, if they made it through that, maybe I can too. That's the purpose behind your pain. Not just to survive it, not just to heal from it, but to use it. So don't curse your pain. Thank it, respect it, let it grow you. Because the version of you on the other side of it, they're wiser, they're tougher, they're more focused, and they're ready for everything this world said you couldn't have. Pain is the price, growth is the reward. And trust me, it's worth every tear. You don't need a crowd to believe in you. You don't need 100 people clapping, reposting, liking, or cheering you on. That's the trap we've all fallen into. Thinking success has to be loud. Thinking that validation comes in numbers. Thinking that if you're not getting attention, you must not be worth much. Let me tell you something real. You don't need 100 likes. You don't need 1,000 followers. You don't need the internet to say yes. You just need one yes. And sometimes that yes has to come from you. We live in a world that's obsessed with applause. Every move we make, we check the reaction. Did they notice me? Did they like it? Did they share it? And if they didn't, if nobody commented, if nobody showed love, we start to doubt ourselves. We start thinking maybe it wasn't good enough, maybe we're not good enough. But that's a lie. Just because it didn't go viral doesn't mean it didn't matter. Just because people didn't see the seed doesn't mean the tree won't grow. You can't build your life on other people's attention. That foundation will crack the minute they get distracted. And trust me, they will get distracted. One day they're watching you, the next they're watching somebody else. That's not hate, that's just life. So stop giving all your power to people who weren't assigned to your purpose. Stop measuring your potential by the size of your audience. Because some of the most powerful people started with nothing but a dream, a grind, and a decision to back themselves, even when nobody else would. You've got to be your own yes. You've got to be your own hype man, your own motivation, your own fire. Because the truth is, most people won't believe in you until you already did the thing. They won't support you until they see it working. They won't clap until the room's already full. So what do you do in the meantime? You keep building. You keep moving. You keep saying yes to yourself, even when the world says, "Who do you think you are?" I'll tell you who you are. You're the one who kept going. You're the one who didn't quit. You're the one who showed up even when nobody else showed up for you. That kind of belief, that's rare. That's real. That's what separates people who talk about doing something from people who actually do it. Every yes you need is not out there. It's in you. That business, say yes to it. That book, say yes to it. That idea, that dream, that thing you keep putting off because you think no one will care, say yes to that. Don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the lack of attention convince you to stop. Most greatness happens in quiet places. Most success is built in private, long before the spotlight ever shows up. And the people who are really meant to hear your voice, see your work, feel your impact, they'll find you. You don't have to scream to be seen. You don't have to beg to be valued. You just have to keep going. You just have to trust that your yes, the one deep inside that says, "This is who I am, this is what I was born to do," is enough. Because here's the truth, it's not the loudest person who wins. It's the most committed. The one who shows up consistently, regardless of attention. The one who claps for themselves. The one who keeps saying yes when the rest of the world is sleeping on them. So if you're waiting on the world to give you permission, stop. Give it to yourself. Be the one who believed first. Be the one who bet on you before the money, before the following, before the praise. Because when the world finally wakes up and says, "Whoa, you made it," you'll be able to look back and say, "Yeah, I did. And I said yes to me long before any of you did." And that's how legends are made. One quiet, powerful yes at a time. You're not broken. Let's start there. I don't care what life threw at you. I don't care how many mistakes you've made, how many people left, how many times you fell flat on your face. You are not broken. You're becoming. And I know that sounds hard to believe when you've been through hell, when everything feels heavy, when you're waking up tired in your soul. But hear me when I say this, everything you've been through is part of the making of something greater. See, the world will try to convince you that if you've been knocked down, you're done. That if you're struggling, something's wrong with you. But the truth is, some of the strongest people you'll ever meet were built in the dark. Their strength didn't come from comfort. It came from the battles nobody saw, from the pain they had to process alone, from the nights they wanted to quit but didn't. That's where real strength is born, not in perfection, but in resilience. And I need you to understand this. Just because you're in a low place right now doesn't mean that's where you're meant to stay. This isn't the end of your story, it's just a chapter. And chapters change, feelings change, seasons change. Don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary moment. You've still got breath in your body. That means your purpose isn't finished. That means you've still got something to do, something to give, something to become. But becoming isn't always pretty. Growth hurts. Healing hurts. Choosing to forgive yourself hurts. Letting go of what's comfortable, even when it's killing you, hurts. But that pain has purpose. It's pulling out the version of you that you were always meant to be. The version that's been buried under shame, under fear, under guilt, under other people's opinions. That version, it's still in you. You just have to dig through the mess to find it. Maybe nobody ever told you this, so let me be the first. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to rewrite the story. You are allowed to wake up one day and say, I don't want to live like this anymore. That doesn't make you fake. That makes you free. Growth means letting go of the identity you created just to survive. It means giving yourself permission to want more, to heal, to evolve, to walk away from the things that no longer serve your peace. You've spent long enough carrying things that were never yours to hold. The guilt, the pressure, the silence, the need to prove yourself. Drop it. You don't have to perform to be worthy. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to hustle for a place at the table. You are the table, and the moment you start believing that, everything around you will start to shift. But here's the key, it starts on the inside. You've got to stop waiting for external things to validate your healing, your peace, your freedom, your joy. That's an inside job. Nobody can do that work for you. Not your partner, not your family, not your friends, not even your followers. This is your journey, and you have everything you need to start walking it right now. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your worst decision. You are so much more than what happened to you. And I know the voice in your head can be loud. I know it can replay every mistake, every failure, every moment of weakness. But that voice isn't the truth, it's just noise. You can turn it down. You can choose a new soundtrack, one that says, I'm still here, I'm still growing, I'm still worthy, and maybe nobody claps for you. Maybe nobody notices your progress. That's okay. Healing isn't loud. Growth isn't always visible. Sometimes the most powerful transformation happens in silence. In the way you talk to yourself, in the way you set boundaries, in the way you choose peace over chaos. That's strength, that's growth, that's victory. So no, you are not broken, you're becoming, you're rising, you're healing. And the world hasn't even seen the best of you yet. But you will, as long as you keep showing up, as long as you don't give up, as long as you keep reminding yourself, I'm not finished. I'm just getting started.